The mystery of climate has always been with us. One region is damp, another dry. One hot, another cold. While to us, these various climates may seem constant. What is now dry may have once been underwater. Forested land once covered with ice. We've learned that changes in climate, even natural changes, can be either gradual or sudden. In any case, they can be painfully significant. Can these changes be better understood? Can they be predicted?
We did get all vegetative surfaces completed.
A clearer understanding of climate and climate change can help us understand our past, prepare for the future, and evaluate our role in the process.
Climate is one of the major concerns that I think civilization has to have over the long haul. The ability to see how weather changes over an extended period of time is an important consideration.
We have lots of examples of climate variability, so we know climate's changing, and the important question that we have to answer is climate changing because of what we as society are doing?
The intricate relationships between radiation, reflection, and absorption hold elusive secrets for understanding climate. The interchange of light and heat that occurs in our atmosphere is referred to as radiative transfer. The balance between what comes in and what goes out, or is otherwise accounted for, is called the radiation budget. A more perfect understanding of the radiation budget is a key goal of atmospheric scientists, one that is quite challenging.
The challenge in climate prediction is very much like the challenge in astronomy. In astronomy, you're stuck with the nature of the world and the nature of the universe the way it is, and you don't get a chance to modify it, you get a chance to only observe it. So in the case of climate, we have pretty much the same situation. We observe the climate, we try to understand what makes it the way it is, but we don't have the choice of altering it like we would in the laboratory.
Maybe the next best thing to a laboratory is a simulated environment in the computer. For several decades, scientists have worked hard to study and predict climate, using what they call general circulation models. In these hypothetical environments, it is possible to experiment with causes and effects in the atmosphere. But until now, the usefulness of these models has been seriously limited.
Computer models are very complicated, very sophisticated things, but they're not as complicated as the Earth's atmosphere itself and the climate system as a whole is. It's kind of like comparing Beethoven's Ninth Symphony to you trying to hum. Da, 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 da. Well, you can kind of get the idea that it's Beethoven's Ninth, but it's certainly not as complex as the real thing.
Climate models are very sensitive to small changes in the Earth radiation budget. And we want it, that is 1 watt per square meter, could be quite large. This doubling of CO2 is of the order of 4 watts. Okay, whereas our model calculations had uncertainties of the order of maybe 15 or 20 watts per square meter.
We're trying to make those climate models as complex as they need to be to actually duplicate what the Earth will do over the next few decades or even centuries as we look further into the future.
And the kind of prediction we're going to make are the ones that are going to affect the way we design our homes, the way we plant our crops, the way in which we build the infrastructure that surrounds our lives.
A critical step towards such progress is to unlock the mysteries of clouds. How do they form? What alters their life cycles? Do clouds affect climate in ways we haven't yet discovered?
Our models are not very good at predicting either when, where, and what type of cloud is going to form, and given a cloud that does form, how well is it going to absorb or reflect sunlight? How well is it going to absorb heat, infrared radiation? What ARM is about is trying to understand those processes better.
As far as the site scientist team goes, I believe that they are.
In 1990, the Department of Energy established ARM, the Atmospheric Radiation Measurement Program. Its goal? To improve our understanding of climate and climate change, and to equip us with a more accurate prediction capability. This would allow better planning for things like periods of drought or flooding, or phenomena like El Nino and La Nina. It would also help us evaluate the human influences on climate. To accomplish the goals of the ARM program would require advanced technology and a systematic plan. 3 semi-permanent facilities would be established at strategic sites on the globe. A team of world-class atmospheric scientists would be assembled to oversee and nurture the scientific substance of the plan, and vital information would be captured by an arsenal of modern atmospheric instruments.
It's a big difference between the tropics, where most of the energy enters the planet, and the polar regions, where most of the energy leaves the planet. The physics are very different.
The tropical Western Pacific locale is particularly important because of the phenomenon that we call a warm pool. It's a region of the Western Pacific where the sea surface temperature is particularly warm, about 28 degrees C or higher, and it's the warmest sea surface temperature on Earth. Being so warm, it pumps an enormous amount of water vapor up into the atmosphere through turbulent convection. This is particularly important for the entire global climate system. The clouds that have formed in this area go to great heights and break off at the top to form cirrus clouds or ice shields that can actually warm the surface of the Earth rather than cool.
The North Slope is the area north of the Brooks Range. It's a very flat area, sloping very gently northward towards the Arctic Ocean. And it's very nice because in climate models we want to have simplicity, so a flat region is nice for that purpose. Also in the wintertime it is snow-covered, which makes the surface very homogeneous. And even the Arctic Ocean is covered with ice, so you can hardly see the difference between land and ocean. So that makes it a very suitable place for testing climate models. And the surface changes from winter to summer, from a very white surface to a tundra surface. The reflectance of the surface changes dramatically, and that we need to capture in the climate models.
A wide variety of cloud conditions is also a crucial consideration. And the Southern Great Plains, over a period of a few weeks, you can get a wide variety of weather and cloud conditions. The Southern Great Plains is an area that was already well instrumented from a meteorological standpoint. The National Weather Service's new radar program, the NEXRAD program, the Oklahoma Mesonet is a unique observing system. So the Southern Great Plains part of ARM was set within that already intensive observing capability. And what this means is that we learn more about the atmosphere because of the interrelationships between these programs than would otherwise be the case. And the net result really is that the Southern Great Plains is now the most intensively observed area in the world from a meteorological standpoint.